Welcome to the Unbound Mind, a sacred space designed for the chosen ones, the visionaries, and the dreamers. This is more than a podcast, it's a call to rise beyond the ordinary. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Unbound Mind. It is your host, Taylor, top tier, the one and only, the biggest, okay? And today I'm going to be discussing the process of self-mastery. Self-mastery is the process of becoming the best version of yourself by understanding and controlling your thoughts, emotions, behaviors, and actions. It involves discipline, emotional intelligence, and a deep, deep connection to your true self, not the person you pretend to be, okay? So, yeah, I'm going to break down the different levels because there is levels to this, and we're going to talk about the process. Level 1 is awareness, as in self awareness. Believe it or not, self awareness is actually something that a lot of people do not have. And once you develop your own self awareness, you will definitely start to see that. You would be so surprised about how many people lack emotional intelligence. It's truly not as common as you would think. But, anyways, at this level, you develop an understanding of your thoughts, your emotions, and your behaviors. Self awareness involves recognizing your strengths, your weaknesses, your triggers, and any patterns that might continue to pop up in your life and relationships. So, this includes mentally, emotionally, and physically. Um, in this level, you start reflecting on yourself and identifying how your internal state, your internal dialogue, and influences that affect your actions and reactions. An example of this could look like noticing when you're feeling frustrated and understanding the real reason behind why you're being triggered at that moment, rather than just reacting impulsively or deflecting versus understanding. The second step is going to be self control, which also includes emotional regulation. And as adults, you would think that everybody has developed the ability to emotionally regulate themselves, but that's not true. A lot of people are out here in grown bodies acting like toddlers. Let's talk about it. But you know what? We're not going to bash anyone. We're going to educate, okay? So, for a very hard side note, before I dig into self control, I just want to encourage everyone to work on regulating their nervous system. A lot of people don't even know that their nervous system is fried, in shambles, okay? If you grew up in survival mode, which a lot of us did, or even a toxic household, please learn how to regulate your nervous system. If you have a consistent pattern of being in toxic relationships, baby, you need to regulate. And I'm saying this because the average individual does not know that their nervous system is keeping them in cycles. You probably don't even know that your nervous system is keeping you from surpassing making a certain amount of money. Like it really gets that deep. So just look into it, do some research, and try to figure that out because you could definitely be very well affected by it. Anyways, self control is more than just discipline, okay? It is the ability to manage your impulses, your emotions, and your reactions, especially when it's hard, especially when temptation is on the horizon. And that can look like anything, honestly. It's about staying grounded when life is trying to pull you out of alignment with the person you're trying to become. At this level, it's not just about doing the right thing, it's actually about choosing your response instead of reacting out of emotion. You know, when your girl piss you off or your man piss you off and you want to spaz out, yeah, you need to pause. And that pause in between is a moment of awareness and it can shift your frequency. So, your emotions actually have the power to ground you into a specific vibration. And once you're grounded in that frequency, whether it's joy, peace, anger, or fear, you'll start to attract experiences that match it. An example of this playing out in real time would be you waking up and you check your phone. Boom. You see a message that you don't like very much. You're triggered. Maybe it's from somebody you love. Maybe it's something you just didn't see coming. Now you're pissed, and suddenly you feel yourself emotionally reacting. That emotion, that anger, frustration, maybe sadness, it tries to take over you. Now, if you allow it to take over, you are no longer in control. That energy will lock you into a frequency. And from that point forward, everything that happens might seem to match that mood. Since you're pissed off, you might spill your coffee. Now you're more upset. Traffic might suck that day. Your boss might piss you off. Now your whole day seems that it's spiraling. But the thing is, this is not because you got a bad message. It's because you came into agreement with that energy and it stayed there. Now, if you catch it, if you take a breath, you pause, you woosah, okay, and you choose differently, you have transmuted that energy. You take back your control, and that is how you shift the entire trajectory of your day. That is self control. That is emotional mastery. And that is what changes your life. One response at a time. Is literally that deep. The third level would be self discipline. At this stage, you gain the ability to take consistent actions aligned with your goals and values, even when you don't feel motivated. It's about making choices that contribute long term to your well being over short term satisfaction. It's about showing up for yourself, honestly. To pop this off, you'll start developing habits that serve your growth and maintain your focus on your goals. Anything that's not contributing to your future self, baby, it needs to be left behind. Level 4 would be mindfulness, and this is just simply living in the present moment. Mindfulness involves fully engaging with the present moment without judgment. It is the practice of observing your thoughts and your emotions without becoming attached to them or letting them dictate your actions, but just simply pass by. A key focus would be cultivating awareness of the present and practicing acceptance without resistance. This can look like being fully engaged in conversation, listening without distraction or disruption, or even just enjoying what the present moment is offering you without worrying about the past or the future. Please remember that time only exists in your mind. The present moment that you are experiencing right now is the only true time that you will ever have. Tomorrow does not exist yet, and neither does yesterday. Level 5, self confidence and self belief. At this level, you develop an unshakable belief in your own abilities and potential. You feel like Superman or Superwoman. I did. In this level, you start to trust your inner wisdom and you have the courage to take risk and pursue your goals without the daunting fear of failure. Stepping into the unknown might actually excite you. You might not be scared at all. The key focus in this level is cultivating a positive self image and a growth mindset. It's really just turning up your confidence, honestly. You take on challenges and pursue opportunities that align with your purpose and the person you're trying to become, even if you're unsure of the outcome. But honestly, my advice is to remember that it's literally impossible to lose when everything is working together for your good. If it's a closed door, it's simply redirection. If something goes wrong, it's room for refinement. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Level 6, self responsibility. Let's say this again. Self, say it with me, responsibility. I know I gave that word way more syllables than it has, but I wanted to say it slow, okay? Because a lot of y'all don't know that word. A lot of people don't know that word. Now, this level involves taking full accountability and ownership for your life and your choices. I'm talking to my ladies and the men. I'm talking to everybody, okay? This is about recognizing that you are the creator of your circumstances, and accepting accountability is essential. Y'all, we have to realize the part we play in our own suffering, okay? Like, that's just what comes with it. Now, at some point in life, it is extremely important to let go of victim mentality and actually embrace the power to change and shape your own destiny. The person you're destined to be is the person you choose to become. Never give external circumstances to dictate the outcome of your life, past or present. It doesn't matter. Level 7, alignment with purpose. Self mastery reaches its higher levels when you are truly aligned with your soul's purpose. Act from a place of clarity about your mission in life, okay? Make choices that resonate with your authentic self and contribute to who you are trying to become. Who do you want to be? Live intentionally with purpose and align your actions with your values and a long term vision. You don't have time to waste. You only get one life. And anything misaligned is merely a distraction. Let it go. Only make decisions that support the person you want to be. Because honestly, anything else is loser shit. I'm sorry. I'm not sugarcoating anything anymore. Level 8, inner peace and emotional freedom. At this level, you reach a state of inner peace, and it is a beautiful place to be, okay? External circumstances they don't hold the weight that they used to. They don't disturb you, and you don't care for real. You're not going to be controlled by your life circumstances or whatever situations you may be currently experiencing at the time. You're not going to be controlled by fear, anxiety, negativity, none of that. And the key focus in this level would be to cultivate a deep sense of contentment, regardless of anything that your five senses can see. Once you do this, you'll be able to remain calm and centered in the face of challenges or setbacks. And you just have a deep trusting of everything is working out. Everything is happening exactly the way it's supposed to. You are exactly where you need to be. And by doing this, you will be able to anchor in the frequency of your desired reality. Level 9, mastery of thought and consciousness. In level 9, you begin to transcend limited thinking patterns and step into a state of elevated consciousness. At this level, your thoughts, your beliefs, your perceptions are consciously aligned with your highest potential. You're not misaligned anymore on any levels of existence. You have access to higher faculties and wisdom because you have aligned with the frequency of God. You are the consciousness of Christ. Focus on shifting your limiting beliefs and actively creating positive and expansive thoughts that support your growth. I'm not going to lie. Every morning I listen to You Are Not Poor, Your Thoughts Are. And it's 45 minutes on YouTube. It turns me up for the day. You should check it out. So, this can also look like catching negative thoughts and consciously reframing them in a way that empowers you. Once you do this successfully, continuously, you have transcended beyond the matrix. This just looks like with every negative thought, you think of three more positive ones, or you say out loud whatever challenges that thought you had. Level 10 is transcendence and unity. This is the ultimate level of self mastery. This is where you finally have transcended the ego and you are able to experience a sense of oneness with God. This is mental alchemy. This is mental transmutation. You no longer identify solely with your individual self or your ego thoughts, but instead with the interconnectedness of all of life. In this level, you are living from a space of unconditional love, compassion, and understanding for yourself and others. This looks like embracing a higher perspective on life and just being able to see beyond the surface and cultivate a sense of unity with all beings and everyone around you, free from judgment, honestly. A few practical steps to advance through these levels of self mastery would be consistent self reflection, regularly checking in with your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors to just keep track of progress and identify areas that you could work on. My next recommendation would be simple daily practices. Just focus and work on developing habits like meditation or journaling or mindfulness, just to strengthen your self-awareness and discipline, and to scan your mind to see what's going on up there, because when you're constantly distracted and you don't have any time in solitude, you don't really know the quality of thoughts that you're thinking. You don't really assess the quality of the mental activity that you're having throughout the day. You're just living on autopilot. After that, I would say using techniques like deep breathing or a way to emotionally release. This could look like anything, whatever works for you, to be able to master your reactions. Goal setting and alignment is important. Set intentional goals that are aligned with your values and the person you want to become. Do not pursue anything that is outside of that realm. For what? You're wasting your time. Last but not least, I would advise to seek knowledge and mentorship. Engage in continuous learning. Learning is important. This can be through books, this could be through courses, this could be through virtual mentorship. It's a lot of free resources out there that is available for you to expand your consciousness and your understanding, and also understand the practice of self mastery. By working through these levels, you can progressively cultivate greater self awareness. You can definitely expand your emotional intelligence, and you can master your life. Each level builds on the previous one, and it leads to a deeper connection with who you are at core, and it gives you a more empowered and purposeful life. Thank you for joining me on The Unbound Mind, where we break free, rise higher, and step boldly into our greatest selves. If this episode sparked something in you, share it with someone ready to awaken their power. Remember, you are chosen, and the journey you're on is divine. Keep evolving, keep empowering, and stay unbound. Until next time, go out there and live in your highest frequency.